Alright, what's up guys? Today we're going to be doing a Rainbow Six Siege operator tier list for Year 7 Season 2. So we're going to be rating them on a scale of S through D, D being the worst, S being the best, your top tier ops, bring them all the time, and D being your worst ops. If you bring them, I'm reporting you for griefing. Alright, so starting off we have Ace. Ace is going to go in A tier. Previously he was S tier, but after the, the AK-12 recoil nerf, he's not as good as a fragger. And the fact that you need 2 of his 3 Selma charges to open up 1 hatch, not very good. All right. And there's other hard breaches that in the current meta fit better than Ace. Last season, a couple seasons ago, Ace would have been S tier, bring him all the time. But now he's like, bring him, I would say 75% of the time, very map dependent. Because, for example, if you're on Clubhouse, you're going to bring a Thermite to get the walls or the Habana for the hatches. Ace is irrelevant on Club. But on a map like Bank, if you're trying to push Garage or Surfer, you bring him over any other hard breach because he has the range. Next up is Alibi, one of the best roamers in the game. We'll put her in B. Would have been in A couple seasons ago, but after the recoil nerf, she's not as good at fragging anymore. Her MXL used to be a beast, now it's just like average. But her gadget's like mediocre at best. I mean, it's decent for info, but it's not the best out of all the trap ops. But she does have a shield and a bailiff for rotates, which makes her utility, secondary utility, pretty valuable. All right. Shit. Amaru, that's her name. I was thinking of Zami. But Amaru goes in C tier. I mean, she's got hella cracked loadout. She's got SMG 11 or Gone 6 or secondary, and the G8 and G8 go burr. All right, just based off fragging potential alone, she's C tier. But she's very dependent on how you play her. If you just like rush sight through a window, she's D tier. Dog shit. All right. But if you, play her smart and you just like rush up to the roof to get maybe an early pick off of a skylight or something instead of like windowing into sight, she can be like somewhat valuable. I mean, not the best entry in the game. There's other ops I'd rather have, but if you're gonna play her smart, she's not the worst. And she has flashbangs for clearing utility. All right, Aruni goes in S tier. I mean, she's got the Mark 14, which is the most underrated gun on all of defense. Thing shreds people. And she's also got the P10 Roni, which is, I mean, not as good as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. But what really makes her amazing is her gadget, which is kind of like a Castle Kapkan Jaeger hybrid. You got a burn utility to get through it. You can reset it if you play her life smart. She's got bulletproof cam or barb, extremely valuable. Her fist can make rotates, which is extremely valuable and useful. It means that you don't have to bring a shotgun or impacts or anything. You can maybe replace impacts with a shield or something like that. And she's just in general just a great op. She never hurts the team, but on some sites, there is some better ops, but she will always never hurt the team. She'll always be a benefit. Our Ashe is a shell of her former self. Like in the current meta, she's C tier, probably a bit better than Amaru. I'm gonna swap those two. But R4C still goes burr. Let's be honest. But the main problem with her is that Zof outbreaches her, Yana outbreaches her, Finka can outbreach her, and they all got better guns and gadgets. Next up is a Zami. I'm borderline S, but I would say high A. Azami because the way she can like mold the map is very valuable. But if you have a bad Azami player, she's dog shit. Good Azami player, legendary, will win you rounds. Because the way she can just mold the map to the way she wants is crazy with some of the angles. But she also has to learn to play her life. If an Azami that dies 10 seconds in the round spawn peeking is the most useless thing ever because you don't get the utility out of her. But an Azami that plays her life smart, throws her Kiba barriers at smart times to maybe block breaches or just anything, create angles for her team. Crazy valuable, crazy OP. But Azami, just like Amaru, is one of those operators that's crazy player dependent. Like, with Aruni, you could be the shittiest player in the world and still get good utility out of her. With Ace, you could be shitty, still get good utility out of him. But with Azami, you got to be a smart player. Bandit's in D tier. Bandit, the only good thing about him is like 3 speed, C4, MP7. That's about it. His bandit charge is so easy to counter. Mav, if he's trying to bandit trick, Mav will just nade him. People will shoot him from below, shoot out the bandits from below. There's just nothing good about bandit. A mute's better at wall denial. Kaid is just bandit on crack. If you bring a bandit, you're trolling. Blackbeard, I'm gonna make a whole new tier for Blackbeard. Like, god damn, he's shitty. Like, I can't stand Blackbeard. The fuck? Alright. This is where Blackbeard players go. I got a griefing report. Because if you're playing Blackbeard, you're griefing. He has the shittiest guns. He has no utility, and his gadget doesn't even block headshots. All right, Blitz is underrated. Blitz is C tier. Like the correct Blitz player in like gold lobbies, you're raping. Only way to describe it, you're just raping kids. Like you're fucking them. There's nothing you can do about it, and there's only one counter, which is Warden. Like if you're Flash and you're going against a good Blitz player, you're fucked. There's nothing you can do. All right, Buck's in A tier. I mean, ever since he lost his nades, he's not as good, but the C8, one of the best guns in the game. He's got flashes. He got the can opener hard breach thing. Pistol's good. His gadget's amazing for vertical. He can play from below, unlike Sledge. He's crazy good. All right, Buck is always good pick. For some sites, like I said, Sledge might be better. That's why he's not quite A tier. He doesn't have nades like Sledge. He's like kind of a worse Sledge, but sometimes he is better. For example, he is better on Cafe because on Cafe, Buck would be better because you can go below Cocktail and stuff like that and just like buck him out from below. It's crazy. All right, now you got Capital. He's in C tier. And the only valuable thing about him is his LMG, which is crazy good. But other than that, his utility doesn't really fit the current meta, which is nade spam and LMG. To where he only hits one of those spots of the current meta. To where he's really not that good. All right, Castle's in A tier. He can make rotates. The UMP is shitty on pulse, but on Castle with a 1.5, that thing's a domer. Only hits heads. That thing is crazy. Well, it's not crazy because it's not that good. But in their right hands, that thing will shred. Like, I shred kids with this thing. And the versatility that Castle has is insane. All right, Cav goes in D. I mean, Cav is scary, yes. But all you got to do is push with your teammates, have a flank watch, drone her out, and she's useless. Her gadget is useless. You're going to bring a roamer, bring a alibi because she brings a shield, bring a vigil because he can cloak, waste more time because that's, roamer's main thing is wasting time. And she doesn't do that very well. All right, this Milk Dud Clash right here. Honestly, C tier. Clash can, if you have a teammate playing behind the Clash, she can be pretty useful because you got someone playing behind her, which is pretty decent because you can just like play her like a deployable shield, like a walking deployable. But if she's by herself in a 1vx, you're not winning that. She has no clutching to where her team has to play off of her, to where she is only good in a coordinated stack, which you don't see very often. All right, Doc's also in C tier, low C, because Thunderbird outdoes everything. He can only heal 3 times. Thunderbird endless times. Thunderbird has a better gun, but Doc has 1.5, so he can frag out. If you're going for pure frags, bring him like once every couple rounds, he can be pretty good. Dokkaebi is hella underrated. Dokkaebi is A tier. Like DMRs currently are crazy underrated. DMRs are crazy good in my opinion. Like they're like 2-shot kills half the time. Why would you not bring DMR? If you can get 1 kill with Dokkaebi and take like the defender's cams, if they have a Valk or a Maestro or something, you're probably going to win that round because you have access to their cams, which they don't want to shoot because they might be able to see you and you can see them. It messes with their minds like crazy. All right, next up, we got Echo. Echo goes in B tier. I mean, he's not as good as he used to be after he lost invisibility on his drones, but if you can play him correctly, like play very passive on his shield, he has a good gun, bearing 9. And his gadget can be good at times. Of course, it's a cam op to where every cam op is pretty decent at the game because info is key in Siege, to where that's why he's in B tier. Ella's in A tier. She's got a shield, great pistol, and her gadget is, if you have an Ella playing her gadget correctly, the moment that Grismont goes off and you're blind and she swings you, you're not going to win that half the time. That is a free ass kill. Finka is currently the best operator in the game. There's no better operator than Finka. Finka needs to be nerfed. She's got one of the best LMGs in the game. I mean, her win rate was crazy. It was like, what, 80% win rate? All right, her win rate is crazy. She can res herself and teammates, heal teammates permanently 3 times, nades, gone 6, LMG. She's the reason why we're in this shitty meta currently. Nerf Finka. All right, Flores also in S tier. His utility is crazy. He has 2 regular drones on top of 4 RCEs. The RCs can clear crazy utility. If you have the shield and bunker on Oregon, and they don't have a mute, and you have a Flores, that's free. You don't got to worry about that shield. the whole round because he's just gonna blow that thing up crazy fast. He has a good gun with the AR-33. DMR is also pretty decent on him. He's just crazy in general. He's extremely underrated. Those RCE drones, you can still get information out of them for like the 15 seconds they're around. Still pretty good for information. On top of 2 regular drones and flashes for clearing Jaegers and Arunis. He's all in all an amazing operator. He really fits the current meta. And on some sites, you need him. All right, Frost is in B tier. She's another of those really crazy situational operators to where if you're on like master bedroom on a chalet and you can play her in trophy and library, she's crazy underneath those windows and under canine window. Frost is crazy. She has a shield, good SMG, and her secondary shotgun is the best for making rotates in the whole game, better than any shotgun. Like just the utility she brings and the fragging potential honestly puts her in A tier. Actually, he's crazy. Fuse is in B tier. He's a very chunky boy to where he's very loud, but he's got Finka's LMG, which is crazy, and AK-12, which is also crazy. On some sites where vertical play is very heavy, he is insane. Like kitchen on coastline, you always want to bring a Fuse, but that's about it. You only want to play him on vertical sites. If the site is not vertical, you don't want to bring him. That's what keeps him in B. Glass this season's in A tier. If you can like pair Glass with a Sense, that means you don't need to bring smokes on Glass anymore. You can bring nades, and nades are crazy valuable. And the fact that he has a bearing 9, he's a 3-speed. His DMR just got buffed. Glass in general is actually a pretty good like fragger now. Post plant, if the thing's smoked and you have a Glass playing, you're dead. You're not winning. All right, Goyle after his rework, I would put him in B. I used to put him in A or S because like in higher ranks, the utility dump that would take for his shield behind like a Jaeger and a Rooney was crazy. But now he doesn't have that shield. It's just 4 canisters, which really isn't that good. If you're gonna bring area denial, you really want to bring a smoke. To where that's why he's average. He's got Vector, which is one of the best SMGs. Vector goes burr. So that's about it. And C4. Now to this fat bitch, Gridlock. C tier. She's not good for flank watch because a vigil can or someone can just shoot him out or impact him. Wait about 15 seconds where you forget about that and just flank. Not as good as Nomad at her job. She's fat, loud, and ugly. Nobody likes Gridlock. Don't play Gridlock. Hibana, S tier. She is the most versatile hard breach in the game. 3-speed, flashes. You can get like almost every hatch on every map. Like on Bank, you can get every hatch with her. It's crazy how good she is. Good gun, bearing 9. There's not much to say. Like, in my opinion, the best hard breach. Yana, also S tier. Yana has endless droning capabilities with her with her gadget. She has the ARX, which is one of the best ARs in the game with 1.5 scope. Headshot machine, no recoil, high damage. Bad ammo, but you don't really need the ammo because you're going to be doinking kids with it anyway. She's got nades and the Gon 6. Crazy good at clearing utility. That's why she's in S tier. And she's an endless drone. IQ goes in D tier. She has good guns, but other than having good guns, you only bring her if they have a Valk, and Valk is banned most of the time anyway, to where you don't want to bring an IQ. Because if you want a G8, just go Amaru. If you want to use the Commando, just basically play Thermite. Those guns are basically the same exact thing. If you or the ARX, those guns are all very similar. Lower fire rate, higher damage. Who are you going to bring? Better operators. All right, Jackal. Jackal's S tier. If you're gonna roam clear, he is the best op because he can track feet. C7E, crazy, no recoil, good fire rate, high damage. It's just 2x. It's just a crazy AR. And he's got the PDW9, which is also another crazy gun. But it's better on OSA for sure. Jaeger's also S tier. You need a Jaeger currently because nade spam is crazy in like the current meta. Where Jaeger can take out those nades and you will win rounds because the attackers won't have any nades left. Because a nade is so crazy valuable. A nade, if you were to give IQ, which is like a bottom tier op, or Blackbeard nades are automatically shooting up to at least high C or low B automatically. That's how crazy nades are. All right. Kaid, he's also S tier. If you're going to bring Walden out, you're going to bring Kaid because there are some spots on some maps to where Cali can't get the Kaid. Maverick can't nade out the Kaid because it's hidden behind a wall or something. Kaid's crazy. His AUG's good. He's got a 1.5. He's got a C4. He's just crazy. He's the best anti-hard breach in the game. No one rivals him. Callie's D tier. I mean, if you're gonna try to get wall, I'd rather have, you know, a Zoph, a Finka, a Yana go below, a Mav trick the wall. Callie's sniper is dog shit. You can't even one-shot people unless they're a roamer. And why are you roam clearing with Callie? Get fucking good, kid. And like her secondary isn't even that good. Like the pocket F2, I don't call it a pocket F2. That's just like, I don't know, a SMG 11 with Asperger's. Next you got Capcan. Capcan, I'm gonna put him in B tier, high B. His gun, crazy good, 1.5, no recoil, headshot machine. He's got one of the best pistols in the game with the PMM. His gadget in higher ranks, if you can place him like around near areas near the site where you think they're gonna be pushing, he can be crazy useful. But only if they set off the traps. If they don't set off the traps, he's useless. So he's very dependent on if the traps go off. All right, Legion. I'm gonna put him top C tier. He's got T5, which is crazy. His pistol's pretty decent. He's got impacts for rotates. But the thing is, you gotta play his life. Unlike Capcan, where you're gonna set the things and die. With Legion, you gotta play his life to where the things will recharge and you can place them again. And the Legion trap just isn't as good anymore. It takes time to damage them. It's not instant damage. And because with the Capcan, you can die early, the thing will go off, your utility's already been used, you did good, you helped your team. With Legion, one Legion goo may go off, but it's still probably gonna do no damage because it's gonna take it out immediately. They're quite useful. I mean, not useful, useless. All right, Lions B tier. The Vector is crazy good. If you're planting on a Lion charge, he's like pretty good post plant, but only in late round scenarios. Earlier than that, he's pretty useless, I would say. But his guns are good. Meister's in S tier. With the current addition of Sens and Glaz, anything that I see through smoke is pretty good. His evil eyes are amazing. He's got the Auto goes burr. Evil eyes are as good as they used to be. He hasn't gone through any nerfs, so he's S tier. If you bring a Maestro, no one's going to complain. Mavericks S tier, second best hard breach in the game, I'd say. M4, crazy good AR. He's got nades. He's a 3-speed. The good Mav player, you don't even need another hard breach to assist him with a good Mav. Mav can make murder holes. Mav's is crazy in general. Mav's banned a lot for a reason. Now you got Malusi. I would say Malusi, like when she was released, oh my god. That shit made me rethink my life choices by playing Siege. But now she's gone through some nerfs. Well, I know she's like right next to Ellis. I would say A tier. She's got MP5. MP5's, you know, everyone likes the MP5. If you don't like the MP5, you have Down syndrome. All right. And her Banshees are good because if you place them correctly, it causes the attacker to look away and shoot the Banshee, which is a free swing and free kill probably. All right, Mira's S tier, high S. Mira's always banned for a reason. She creates these crazy one-way angles that can cut off a whole area because of how scary she is. If you have like a Mira on bank basement, she's so scary to push server because that one Mira. It's so hard to clear out. Mira is just crazy. All right, Monty is going D tier. Current meta, Monty doesn't have nades. He doesn't have a primary weapon or LMG. He's just not good. If you're bringing a Monty, you're throwing. If you're gonna bring a Monty, I'd much rather have you bring an Osa because Osa can clear utility. She has an actual gun. It's much better than Monty. Osa is what the Monty rework should have been. All right, now Mozzie's going A tier. He can deny drones. This is crazy useful, and he can actually take the drones. Drones is the most important piece of attacker utility, and the fact that he can take them and use them himself is even more important. Great guns, great fragger, one of the best roamers. You can even anchor with him, but he's not as good as Mute. That's why he's in A tier. All right, Miko's in S tier. He's got SMG 11. He's got shotgun or the MP5K, which is also really good. He can wall deny, info deny. He's a better Mozzie in general. He's C4. He's crazy. Nook's underrated. Nook's in B tier. I'd say FMG9 goes crazy. She's got nades, the deagle. And like, if you can push correctly with Nook, they're not going to see you coming. All right, Nomad's in A tier. After the nerf where the time to get up after being air jabbed is like a second faster now, she's not as good, but you still get the info that someone was flanking. And after you hit an air jab, you're not going to continue to flank. You're going to run away. All right, to where it still does the job. You're just probably not going to get the kill anymore from the air jab. So that's why she dropped from S to A, because you don't get the frag anymore. But she's still, you know, best flank watcher in the game. All right, now we got Oryx. He is, in my opinion, the best roamer in the game. T5 with the 1.5 is a headshot machine. He can dash around the map. You can drone him out. He'll shoot your drone, dash away. You won't even know it. He can watch long angles. He's just crazy good. He's got the bailiff to open up hatches and to jump up and down from. He's just super good in the current meta because you can run away from your LMG. You know, you can be spraying 150 bullets at him. You're not gonna be able to shoot him while he's dashing because he's fast as shit. You got Osa. Osa's an S tier. Osa can create shields for herself. So in a post plant, if Osa has a shield on the plant, you don't have any impacts. Good luck beating that. If you win against that Osa just delete game, delete their life too. Honest to God. All right, you're not winning that. Osa is great at getting information. PW9 goes crazy, high fire rate. It's like a pocket LMG, you know? All right, now I got Pulse. Pulse is in B tier. On some sites, Pulse is crazy. Like on Basement Clubhouse, they're pushing that kitchen hatch. Pulse is crazy. Like, it's free kills half the time. Or Canal Basement. But other than that, Pulse, you don't really want to bring him unless you know they're going to be playing vertical. All right, now we got Sludge. Sludge is S tier. He's a better buck because he can breach more. His breaches are bigger than Buck's. He's got nades, and the L8 is just crazy primary in general. I got Rook. Rook's a better doc, but only because he has 2 times with MP5. That's the only thing that separates those two ops. That's why he's in C tier. He's just doc, but with a better gun. All right, Smoke's in S tier, high S tier. Top 3 defender in the game. Shotgun, shield, SMG11. His smokes can kill, deny time like crazy. If you got all 3 smokes, there's 30 seconds left, and they're going to push for plant. You just play behind that shield and smoke them out, and they're not going to get in sight. And if they do, they're going to be so weak that it's just one bullet kills them. Smoke is crazy useful. Then you got Thatcher, S tier. Do I have to explain why Thatcher's S tier? He's banned for a reason. Use your brain. All right, Tachanka C tier. He's a worse Goyo. It's think of Goyo, but worse. And you get Tachanka because with Goyo, teammates can shoot, get the fire, better gun. Tachanka, he has to stay alive too. And when his Shamika launcher is out, he's vulnerable. With Goyo, you still have your gun to set it off. With Tachanka, you have to take out a whole ass another thing that cannot shoot back, so you're extremely vulnerable while shooting it. And you get killed a lot while shooting it. Thermite's top A tier. Thermite is very subjective to sight. If you need a big hole, you go Thermite, but that's about it. If you don't need a big hole, you're probably gonna go Ace, Hibana, or Mav. Or he's his top A tier, but his gun is hella good. We got Thorn. Thorn's in top of B tier, mainly because her gadget takes crazy long to detonate, and you're not gonna get any kills from it. You're just gonna get information. And if you want information off of something going off, you want an LMine because that disorientates him, actually does something. But at least with Thorn, you get a really good SMG, you get a deployable shield, and that's about it. All right, Thunderbird is S tier. Second best roam in the game. Her heals are crazy useful. You set him down and forget. If you can pocket a heal, get some kills on the roam, heal yourself back up, do it again. It's crazy useful. She got the spear AR as a roamer. I did not take notes from Jaeger. All right, she is basically the current Jaeger. If you're playing Jaeger 3 years ago, and you quit and you come back, Jaeger's dog shit. His gun is dog shit. You come back, you play Thunderbird, you're gonna be like nothing ever happened. All right, Twitch is A tier. F2, crazy. Her pistols are good. Her utility is actually pretty good now because a lot of time you have idiot teammates in rank that refuse to go below and take off the Kaid or Bandit charge, and Twitch can just get it from drone hole. Valk's S tier. MPX is a headshot machine. Her cams are crazy full. Good cam spots. They're small as shit. You can't see them. And if you just get yellow pinged to death, it's crazy. She's banned all the time for a reason. Vigil's top A tier. I would say third best roamer in the game. He's really scary. If you're sitting there trying to drone out a place and you see a Vigil cloak, you gotta wait like 10 seconds before you can even drone out, and he's gonna shoot your drone and run away. And like rotate. K1A, crazy good gun. He's all in all just a great operator. And Wamai is also an A tier because he's got the AUG, which I really like. MP5K with 1.5. He's a Jaeger, but not as good. He's just like a dumbed down Jaeger. Think of him as like the Tachanka of Jaegers. So like Tachanka is just a worse Goyo. Think of it more like he's the Goyo of the Jaeger. Think of it like that, because Goyo is just a worse smoke. The Wamai is just a worse Jaeger. All right, Warden, he's in B tier now. The current meta is shifting to where smokes and stuff are gonna be pretty heavy. We're going past there again. And now Warden, he can see through all that. He's got MPX with 1.5, deployable shield, C4 if you don't want the shield. So he's pretty good now. Ying's in A tier, I would say. 4 Candelas. If you're getting blinded by Candela and a Ying rushes you, you're dead. You're not winning. All right, she's got an LMG. LMGs are crazy. Ying in general is pretty good now. Zero's low B, I'd say. I mean, his tuna boat of an AR is super good, but that's about it. His cams are big and loud to where it's gonna get shot the moment you shoot him to the floor, the wall, whatever you're shooting him into. To where his cams are really useless, but his fragging potential is crazy. So that's why he's bottom B tier. Zophia's in S tier. She's got 2 LMIs. She's got 2 breaching charges along with regular breaches, so 5 breaches, 2 LMIs, and an LMG that shoots 150 bullets. I don't know what you saw off this thing by giving her that LMG. It's crazy. Now we got Sens. Sens is the new op. He's kind of weird. I'm putting him top B tier because with Sens, he's pretty good, but the problem with him is that he has a shitty gun. He's a 1 speed, 3 armor to where he's really fat and heavy on attack, which is what you don't want. On defense, it's fine, but on attack, you don't want that because, he's like really fat and loud. And you're, roaming around the map. You don't want to be heard, and they're going to hear you, C4 you from the floor. And sometimes his sense charge will be detrimental to the team. For example, it'll cut off a line of sight on like the defuse, and you're not going to be able to see him. Just going to long arm the defuse. But a good sense player will help the team in so many good ways, but it really comes down to the player being smart. And that's about it for the tier list for Year 7 Season 2. Make sure you like and subscribe.